Have you ever wondered why some people, without shouting the loudest or demanding attention, manage to command respect wherever they go? There's something magnetic about them, an invisible force that draws others in, makes their words matter, and turns their actions into examples worth following. This unseen power is not luck, nor is it reserved for the rich, the famous, or those born into privilege. It's influence, the ability to move people, shape minds, and leave a mark that outlives your presence. Many dream of having it. They chase positions, titles, and popularity, believing that authority or applause will automatically earn them influence. But real influence laughs at titles and ignores superficial charm. It comes from something deeper, a life aligned with purpose, actions rooted in integrity, and a commitment to serve rather than control. It's not the loudest voice in the room that changes lives. It's often the quiet example of consistency, kindness, and courage that speaks the loudest in the hearts of others. Think about the people who have shaped your life the most. They probably weren't celebrities or internet sensations. They were the teachers who saw your potential when you didn't. The friend who believed in you when you were ready to quit, or the mentor who guided you without seeking praise. These people understood a simple truth. Your influence is not about how many people know your name, but about how deeply you touch the lives you encounter. If you've ever felt insignificant or doubted whether your life matters, this is your wake-up call. Influence is within your reach. Not tomorrow, but now. And the journey begins the moment you decide to become the kind of person whose life is a message, not just noise. In every corner of the world, people crave to be heard, to be seen, and to leave an impression that lasts beyond a fleeting moment. From boardrooms to classrooms, homes to communities, the desire to make a meaningful difference pulses through our veins. Yet for many, the idea of becoming truly influential feels distant, reserved for those with grand stages, vast audiences, or extraordinary talents. This belief quietly traps countless souls in a life of quiet frustration, where their ideas, dreams, and values remain locked within, never fully touching the world they were meant to impact. But what if influence is not about speaking to millions, but about changing just one life at a time? What if becoming influential is not about possessing power over people, but empowering people to discover their own potential? Influence, in its truest form, has little to do with popularity and everything to do with authenticity and purpose. It is born in the daily choices we make, the small acts of integrity we uphold when no one is watching, and the courage we show when it would be easier to stay silent. Every person holds within them a reservoir of gifts, experiences, and wisdom uniquely shaped by their journey. Yet so many bury these treasures under layers of fear, self-doubt, and societal expectations. They wait for permission, a perfect moment, or an invitation that rarely comes. The reality is that influence is not given, it is cultivated. It does not demand you to be perfect, only that you be real, intentional, and committed to growth. In a world overwhelmed with noise, true influence stands out as a quiet force of consistency, compassion, and conviction. It does not boast or bully its way into people's hearts. Instead, it earns trust, demonstrates value, and inspires others to rise higher than they ever thought possible. From the parent shaping the future at the dinner table, to the entrepreneur creating jobs and hope, to the neighbor lending a listening ear, real influence exists in ordinary people who live with extraordinary purpose. The good news is that you don't have to wait to become a person of influence. You can start today, right where you are with what you have. It begins with a decision to take responsibility for your life, to develop your gifts, and to use them selflessly to serve others. Influence is not a destination, but a lifestyle. A daily choice to lead by example, speak truth with love, and act in ways that uplift those around you. When you live like this, you will find that you don't just change people, you transform the world, one life at a time. In a society obsessed with fame, likes, and followers, the true meaning of influence has been watered down to a numbers game. Many people believe that if they do not have thousands of admirers or a viral online presence, they have no real voice. This misconception has left countless talented, passionate individuals silent and hesitant to step forward with their ideas, their values, and their leadership. We scroll through endless feeds comparing our ordinary days to someone else's highlight reels, convincing ourselves that we are too insignificant to make a dent in the world's problems. This mindset is not only disempowering, but deeply damaging. It robs families, communities, and entire generations of voices that could inspire solutions, heal wounds, and light the path toward progress. Instead of seeing themselves as leaders in their own right, many people sit on the sidelines of their own lives, waiting for someone else to step up, speak up, or fix what is broken. The danger in this is that when good people remain passive, confusion and negativity find space to grow unchecked. Another challenge lies in misunderstanding what influence demands. Too often, people chase status instead of substance. They focus on looking influential rather than becoming genuinely impactful. They say what is popular instead of what is needed, fearing rejection or losing favor. As a result, their words sound hollow, their actions lack staying power, and their lives fail to leave any lasting mark. Authentic influence is never built overnight, nor is it bought through shallow gestures or loud declarations. It requires inner strength, a clear sense of purpose, and the patience to develop the character that sustains respect and trust. Many people also face internal battles that keep them from stepping into influence. Past failures, criticism, or a lack of encouragement can create invisible walls around their potential. Some have never been told that their story matters or that their unique perspective could be the key to solving a problem no one else can. Others struggle with self-discipline, constantly starting projects but abandoning them at the first sign of difficulty, forgetting that consistency is the backbone of any lasting influence. The world today doesn't lack information. It lacks courageous people willing to stand for truth, integrity, and meaningful change. It needs voices that rise above trends and distractions to speak life, hope, and vision into hearts that have forgotten how powerful they really are. The real question is not whether the world needs more people of influence. It is whether you are willing to become one of them, despite the obstacles, doubts, and distractions that whisper you cannot. True influence begins in the quiet places where no applause is heard and no spotlight shines. It starts with a commitment to lead yourself before trying to lead anyone else. To become a person others trust and follow, you must first master your own thoughts, words, and habits. This requires honesty with yourself, acknowledging weaknesses, and being willing to grow through them. Many want to impact the world, but ignore the simple truth that you can't pour out what you don't have inside. So the journey to influence is an inward one before it is outward. Once you begin cultivating self-leadership, the next step is understanding your purpose. Purpose gives influence direction. It answers the questions. Why am I here? What problem am I uniquely positioned to solve? Many people float through life without clear answers, chasing opportunities without alignment. but those who discover and embrace their purpose become unstoppable sources of inspiration. They speak, work, and serve from a place of clarity, and that clarity magnetically draws others toward them. Consistency is the fuel that keeps influence alive. Anyone can make an impression once, but true influence is built when people see you living out your values day after day, especially during challenges. It's not perfection that earns respect. It's the ability to stand firm in storms, admit mistakes, learn, and keep moving forward. This reliability makes your life a living message people can trust, even if they don't always agree with you. Serving others is another cornerstone of real influence. Many try to gain followers by impressing people, but influence grows stronger when you focus on lifting people. Small acts of service, words of encouragement, or simply listening with genuine interest can transform relationships and build bonds that last. When people feel valued by you, they open their hearts and listen to what you have to say. Communication also shapes how your influence spreads. It's not enough to have great ideas if you cannot express them in a way that resonates with others. Influential people practice clear, honest, and empathetic communication. They know when to speak and when to listen. They connect emotion to reason, story to principle, and truth to everyday life. All these elements, self-leadership, purpose, consistency, service, and communication, weave together into the fabric of authentic influence. It's a daily craft, not a one-time event. Over time, living this way transforms ordinary people into extraordinary guides, mentors, and voices of change in a world hungry for genuine leadership. There comes a pivotal moment in every journey to influence when the realization hits that the true measure of impact is not in grand gestures, but in the quiet yet powerful ripples created by daily choices. It is the point where you stop waiting for an invitation and start living as if you are the answer someone has been waiting for. This shift changes everything. You begin to see your actions, no matter how small, as seeds planted in the soil of someone's future. A kind word to a struggling colleague, a moment of patience with your children, or the courage to speak up when silence would be easier. These seemingly ordinary moments become extraordinary once you understand their potential to shape lives. Many people believe that influence requires dramatic circumstances or an audience of thousands. In truth, it often reveals itself in the mundane and the unseen. A leader who stays late to help a team member finish a project demonstrates commitment far louder than any motivational speech. A friend who listens deeply without judgment can heal wounds that years of indifference would only deepen. Influence at its peak is not loud. It is steady, dependable, and deeply rooted in genuine care for people's growth. The turning point happens when you accept that influence demands sacrifice. It will ask you to stand alone at times, to do what is right rather than what is popular, and to keep showing up long after the applause has died down. There will be days when your efforts seem unnoticed and your words feel unheard, but the life of a true influencer is not driven by recognition. It is driven by conviction and the unwavering belief that your contribution matters, even if no one says thank you today. This is the moment when you discover that influence is not a crown to wear, but a burden to carry. And you carry it because you care too much to stand by and watch life pass others by without hope or direction. It is the quiet resolve to lead with integrity, to live with purpose, and to keep pouring into others until they see in themselves what you have seen all along. When you reach this level of awareness, your daily life becomes your message. Your actions preach louder than your words. You become the living proof that ordinary people can live extraordinarily influential lives, touching hearts, guiding minds, and igniting courage in those who come behind you. Stepping into the life of true influence is not about rewriting your entire world overnight. It is about recognizing that who you are and what you do day in and day out carries more power than you ever imagined. Influence is not a position you earn once and hold forever. It is a reputation built one choice at a time. It is the way you treat people when you are busy, the way you respond when you are wronged, and the way you stand firm when your values are tested. These moments, repeated consistently, create the foundation that others trust and admire. When you understand this, you stop underestimating your quiet acts of courage and kindness. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel and start valuing your own unique story. Influence is deeply personal. It cannot be copied or forced. It flows naturally from a life that has discovered its purpose and commits to living it fully, no matter how ordinary the circumstances may appear. As you walk this path, you will notice that real influence is never self-centered. The most impactful people do not ask, how can I make people follow me, but rather, how can I help people become better? This simple shift transforms influence from manipulation to mentorship, from power over people to power for people. It creates leaders in families, role models in communities, and trailblazers in industries. There will be obstacles. There will be days when your patience is stretched thin, your vision seems blurred, and your efforts appear unnoticed. Yet this is where your character and commitment to influence are refined. When you keep showing up with kindness, integrity, and purpose, you will see that the seeds you plant today grow into strong trees tomorrow. The trust you earn now will echo into the future through the lives you touch. You do not need permission or a title to become a person of influence. You need courage to believe that your words matter, your actions inspire, and your life is a testimony of what is possible when one person decides to live with intention. Influence at its heart is about legacy, the invisible fingerprints you leave on hearts, families, workplaces, and communities long after you are gone. To live boldly, speak wisely, serve generously, and let your daily choices reflect the greatness that already lives within you. This is how ordinary people shape extraordinary futures. One decision, one moment, and one life at a time. Now is the time to stop shrinking from your own potential. The world does not need another bystander waiting for the perfect conditions to do something meaningful. It needs people just like you, willing to rise above excuses, to learn, to grow, and to step boldly into everyday moments with the courage to lead and the heart to serve. Influence is not reserved for the few. It is the responsibility of the willing. Today, you can make the choice to become one of them. Start by taking an honest look at your daily habits. Are they shaping you into someone worth following? If not, change them. Read books that challenge your thinking. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to stretch your limits. Speak words that build instead of break. Make promises you intend to keep, even when no one would hold you accountable. Small disciplines practiced daily build the backbone of influence. Next, discover where you can serve right now. Look around. Your family, your friends, your workplace, and your community all offer opportunities to make a difference. It may be mentoring a young person, encouraging a struggling coworker, or volunteering time to support a local cause. Never underestimate how small acts of genuine care can transform someone's life and expand your influence more than any title ever could. Commit to living with integrity, Influence without character crumbles quickly. People do not remember every word you say, but they never forget how you made them feel and whether you were true to your word. Let your actions prove your commitment to your values. Be consistent in kindness, generous with encouragement, and honest, even when it costs you something. Finally, dare to believe in your voice. Stop telling yourself that someone else will do what only you were born to do. Speak when truth needs defending. Stand when others sit in silence. Dream so boldly that your courage sparks courage in others. Today is the best day to start. Influence is not about being perfect. It is about showing up, being real, and making the lives you touch better than you found them. Choose to be that person. Be the example. Be the spark. Let your life speak so loudly that generations after you feel the impact of your choice to lead, serve, and inspire, starting now.